When I was younger, I used to be upset about things that I didn't have. The car that I didn't have, money that I didn't have, and the life that I didn't have. But this one thing changed everything for me. It flipped the entire script. Let me explain. When I was a kid, I would constantly scroll on social media. I would scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and then I would come across videos and content of people in the exact position that I wanted to be. Now, granted, I didn't earn that position, but my little brain didn't comprehend that, and I just felt bitter and so frustrated that these people were experiencing the things that I wanted to experience. So, for example, people were driving cars that I wish I had. Exact color, exact exhaust, exact sound. They had these cars and I saw it and I was like, man, if only I had that car. I wish I would kill for that kind of car. Same thing with physiques. I would look at somebody's physique and I'd be like, man, I wish I looked like that. Or I wish I was that big. And pretty much anything else to compare my current situation to somebody else's current situation and feel nothing but sadness, anger, and frustration that I'm not there. It gave me anxiety and it really messed up my way of thinking. And that's just one of the ways how social media is so damaging, but that's a completely separate point. It wasn't until I discovered this idea and this concept that my way of thinking changed and the way I went about viewing the world changed. That idea and that concept is the concept of gratitude. And I learned it through Hamza, who's a self-improvement YouTuber, and he posts content about, self-improvement and bettering yourself and further developing yourself. One of the things he would heavily post on is gratitude and being grateful for things. When I looked at that, I was like, oh man, this doesn't work. Gratitude's for babies. And I didn't take it seriously. Meanwhile, I was continuing to compare myself to other people and continuing to feel bad about my current situation. So I came to the point, you know what? Let me give this a try. Let me practice gratitude. So I took a chance on it and I was completely wrong. My thinking was completely messed up and my ideas were completely wrong. Gratitude completely changed my way of thinking and it helped me to become more present and it completely reduced my anxiety. Obviously, people still get anxious and whatever, but it took away a huge chunk that was causing a lot of anxiety for me. And over time, I leaned more into it and I started taking it more and more seriously. Now I'm at a point where I'm so grateful for the things that I have. Like this camera, for example. I could not be able to record videos or take pictures with anything. But I'm blessed to have a camera and I'm blessed to be able to speak to you. That's the mindset shift that gratitude can provide. Now, when I look back on people's lives and their cars and their physiques and whatever, I admire it and I'm like, man, good for you, that's awesome. But I don't get bitter about it. I don't get upset about it. It took hard work and dedication to get to where they are. And second, I'm grateful for the things that I have. And I'm grateful for the things that I can do. There's no need for me to be bitter. There was a time when I was a little kid that all I wanted was a pair of Jordan sneakers and Jordan brand clothing. I thought the Jordan logo and the Jordan brand stood for everything that was cool. When I was in grade school, as a little kid, I didn't have Jordans, and I would see kids rocking all these cool sneakers, all these Jordan sneakers, and I would be frustrated, and I was like, man, I wish I could have that. Flash forward about 10 years later, I have 12 plus pairs of Jordan sneakers, and the Jordan logo is all throughout my closet. Sometimes we live in the future and we think about things that we want and the things that we don't have. But we never look back and we never analyze our current situation and think, wow, this thing I really wanted and now I have it, we're always just thinking of the future and not paying attention to what we have. Younger me would be so grateful for all the sneakers and all the clothing that I have. I want to talk about how to actually gratitude journal, how to actually practice gratitude, and a step-by-step way to implement it into your life. This is what I do for today. This is what I do. I wake up, I sit down, and I gratitude journal. I write 5 things that I'm grateful for, and I write why I'm grateful for those things. This is one of the most important parts of gratitude and gratitude journaling, is why you're grateful for it. Don't just write, oh, I'm grateful for my shoes, because that doesn't do anything. You can do that for anything. It doesn't allow you to think about anything. Writing the why allows you to actually think why you're grateful for it, and it allows you to actually reflect on how important that thing is. For example, I'm grateful for my car because it gives me transportation and it gives me freedom. Now, when I think about my car, I will be like, wow, that's a really helpful thing and an important thing in my life because I added the why. I want you to try gratitude for a week. I guarantee you, after a week, the whole mindset will completely be changed. And don't go into it like halfway. Don't be dipping toes in the water. Dive into gratitude. Actually practice it, because it will genuinely change your life, and it will stop anxiety, and it will stop negative thinking. It changed my life, and it will completely change yours, I guarantee it. So to wrap up, I want to just talk about some of the benefits that you are going to get from gratitude journaling. Instant benefits is you're going to feel a lightened mood. You're going to be like, wow, this thing that I haven't thought about before is actually really important in my life, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to have it and able to experience. Over time, you're going to start to experience more grateful, random thoughts that come into your mind. So when I was in school, I would sit in my desk, and sometimes my mind would wander, right? Like the teacher would be blabbing on, and I didn't care what she had to say. I wasn't listening. So I would literally sit, and grateful thoughts would start to come into my mind. So I'd be sitting in the chair, and I would look up, and I'd be like, yeah, that's a nice car. That's a nice car right there. That's pretty cool. If I had heard that car a few years ago, I'd have been like, man, I wish I drove something like that. I wish I had something that cool. Now, gratitude can have you just be like, man, that's awesome. Good for whoever drove that. That's cool. Anyway, I would sit in class and I would look at the lights and I'd be like, wow, I'm really grateful for these lights. That's awesome. And then I would look over to the AC unit that was right here, and I would be like, man, I'm really grateful for that AC unit so it's not all stuffy and hot in here. The same thing's gonna happen to you. You're gonna be sitting in class somewhere if you're a student, or maybe you're gonna be at work or whatever, and you're gonna be thinking, oh wow, I'm really grateful for X. I'm really grateful for Y. And you're just gonna get naturally grateful thoughts. And that's a true mood lightener and a true game changer. So, take this seriously. Actually practice gratitude. It will change your life. It's a marathon, guys. It's not a sprint.